What's the first letter for today, Ruth?
It's from a distraught young woman in Chicago. She writes, "I've been married only a year to one of the sweetest men imaginable. Yet he has a vice that threatens our security and his talent. He's a well-known artist, but he hasn't touched his canvases and paints for months now. Instead, he just goes out and plays poker night after night. He's a good player, but when he loses, it's just like the end of the world. Last week, he lost $10,000, and I had to sell all of my personal jewelry and my own paintings to make up his losses. We went together for 3 years before we got married, and I knew he was an inveterate gambler. But I wish there was something I could do to help him with his problem. Can you help us?"
Well, I have great pity for you. Psychologists have pretty well established that the die-hard gambler uses his vice to escape responsibility. Your husband's card playing shows that he is reluctant to grow up. It's also a sign that he's mortgaged his marriage to his baser passions. You went into this marriage with your eyes open and were apparently prepared to pay the price. Now you realize how high a price it is. As the saying goes, you've made your bed and must sleep in it. There are associations for gamblers who want to rid themselves of their habit, but they can't do your husband any good until he wants to straighten himself out. Frankly, I don't think I can help you. I just hope he sees the light before the situation gets any worse.
The next letter is from a 30-year-old woman in Cleveland. She writes, "For the past 7 years, I've been going with a man who is 30 years older than I. I suspect it's because I've got some kind of a father complex, but I do love this man very much, and I haven't the slightest desire to date other men. He keeps asking me to marry him because he'd like to have children, but I keep thinking that if we were to have a child now, it would be disastrous. When our child would be 15, his father would be 78. Am I doing the right thing in not marrying him?"
Well, to say the least, you've got a most unusual relationship, and I'm not prepared on the basis of your letter alone to pass judgment on the merits of your love. I think you're the best judge of whether you ought to marry this man. But there's one thing you must bear in mind. You might be doing yourself a tremendous disservice in continuing this affair, for you may be destroying your chances for a normal family life within your own age bracket.